Our student learned cybercrime from leaders. P2B laments as Nigeria ranks 150 among 180 countries on corruption. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel. P2B, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, has lamented Nigeria's level of corruption and the impact on its citizens. Reacting on Sunday via X platform, Obi cried the corruption is now a threat to the existence of Nigeria and the democracy, peace, and progress of the country. Having observed that Nigeria ranks 150 among 180 countries on the 2022 Corruption Perception Index released by Transparency International, he noted the calls for a sober reflection. The Anambra State Governor furthered that it is a wrong thing for Nigeria to have maintained such a bad reputation across the three arms of government for many years. He therefore called for the deployment of all means to fight corruption in Nigeria and ensure the right things are done at all levels of government and public space. As the global community marked International Anti-Corruption Day yesterday, we need to soberly reflect on the effect of corruption in our society and on our country. Corruption has become the greatest threat to our national existence, especially our democracy, peace, and progress. It has immeasurably stunted our development as a nation. We must therefore deploy all available means to strengthen our fight against corruption by not only doing the right things at all times in all levels of governance and public space, but by also ensuring that the leaders are right and behave in a manner befitting of their positions. Sadly, Nigeria has maintained a very bad reputation for high levels of corruption across the three arms of government over many years. We were ranked 150 among 180 countries on the 2022 Corruption Perception Index released by Transparency International. PricewaterhouseCoopers International Limited (PwC) in its report projected that corruption would cost Nigeria up to 37% of GDP by 2030 if not addressed urgently. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, in a separate report, blamed inequality, injustice, national instability, etc., on corruption in the country. This very negative perception of Nigeria reflects the worsening economic situation of a country where foreign investors are leaving the country and local investors are constantly shutting down, resulting in massive job loss, an increasing poverty rate, and a dwindling economy. The gross abuse of the rule of law and disrespect for our constitution are all resultant effects of the endemic corruption that has eaten through the fabric of our society. More sadly is the fact that we, the leaders, are not setting very good precedent for our children by engaging in all forms of corrupt practices. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Ola Olukayede, was reportedly reported to have lamented a huge percentage of Nigerian youths in cybercrime. The question we must all ask is where the children are learning such criminality from. If not from all the parents, especially we the leaders, I remain committed to a new Nigeria. There will be a corruption-free nation or minimally corrupt. It will be a nation that will promote entrepreneurship, professionalism, and hard work where peace and integrity will reign, he wrote. Well, a lot of people are going to come for P2B now, but the thing is, waiting then go. How will you start? How will you start? I did tell you. Where do we even want to even start from? Coming out to see our students learn cybercrime. And the thing is, it's true. How do you want to start remedying it? It is true. There is no how you are going to talk about crime today. I am not going to talk about this particular one. It's not possible. Thank God you're saying this. Unfortunately, you're one of the fraudulent, dubious, deceitful, crooked, and criminal-minded leaders that brought them all those criminal acts. Peter Obi liar, you that get money to use your least brother's work certificate to gain admission into UNN, despite the fact that the said result was P8 in both English and Maths, and there is nothing you cannot forge or do. You and your late brother were into drug trafficking before your brother was killed in Lagos. This is actually very wrong of you to say this. We're talking about how am I going to put it? We're talking about how then go use reduce corruption in the country. You come outside, they talk about waiting. It don't make sense now. It actually don't make sense at all, at all. It don't make sense. Look at the gap. We are 150 out of 180. Imagine, we did 150 most corrupt, we did 150 out of 180. Is it supposed to be like that? Hmm? You know they're okay. It is very abnormal. Sincerely. Now let me even say this. This thing that P2B is even saying, do you know that it is actually true? It is very true. In the sense that the person we are calling our president today, what kind of allegation or accusation is hanging around his head? What kind of accusation? The people we call our lawmakers, do you know the kind of accusation is hanging around their head? The thing is, we cannot, they say, snake no the born goat, a lion no the born goat. It is what we actually allow, the people actually allow to rule us. They are, whether I like it or not, they are supposed to be examples. You see what happened in the last election? Believe you me, it has been registered in the mind of our youth that anyway, anyhow we use enter, all way na way, all die na die. The end justify the means. Meanwhile, it is not supposed to be so. So the thing is, as far as, yes, I'm not saying now, I'm not putting all the blame on the government, but the government has a bigger this thing. They have a bigger role to play here. If the government comes out and condemns such attitude and backs it up with action, not condemning with their mouth and the action is saying otherwise, condemn it in both their attitude. You know, everybody make jekori everybody pay. You understand? Then the citizens as well, they are going to start, they won't have any other option. By the time you say crime is crime, whether the crime happened in Zamfara, whether it happened in Enugu, whether it happened in Benue, whether it happened in Akure, crime is crime. And you tackle it as one. Then everybody will know. Not it will happen in this one. You use religious religious bigotry. You use religious fanatics to, you know, to quench it down. All I'm saying is, for Nigeria to work, we have to have everybody working. But our leaders, whether I like it or not, what do we call them? Leaders. They're here to touch lights. That's not the thing we're supposed to do like this. Whether we like it or not, they're here to serve. And by serving, they're here to show us how to do what? They are kind of a very big influence on us, whether we like it or not. Because it is still these our leaders that represent us everywhere we go, right? All right, on this note, you've come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.